So we are going to start styling our list items with the class we created with our JavaScript. Okay, we are going to start styling our list items. So let's just let's go over to our web page now. As you can see, this is for desktop, so let's just go to the mobile view. You can see here. So we are going to start styling our list item, whereby when we click this, we are automatically going to create that drop down list. Okay, so let's go over to our styles.css. styles.css. So what we need to do here, inside of our max width of 780 pixels, we say ul.topNav.responsive responsive, which is the new class we added to our another list class. We added this responsive with the JavaScript. So we just want to give this a position of relative. Just want to give it a position of relative because we don't want anything moving around, so we want everything in a relative position. So the next thing we need to do, we need to get the list item. So we say ul.topNav.responsive li. What we need to do with this topNav responsive.li, which is the list item, we need to display. We're going to display this inline. The reason we are displaying this inline is because we want everything, all the list item, to be in a particular line. We don't want them to move anywhere. We just want them to be in a line there, just like that. Okay, we just like a span element. We just want them to be in a straight line there. Okay, so the next thing we need to do after displaying this of inline, the next thing we need to do is we are going to this. We are going to give this a float of none. The reason we are giving this a float of none is because if you can go up here with the list items, so you can see here we gave this a float of left in the list item. We gave it a float of left, so we want to override that property. That's why we are giving it now a float of none, because we don't want anything floating here at first. Okay, so that will be all for our list item. So let's dive into the next stage, which is the anchor tag. So say ul.topNav.responsive li, and then the anchor tag. Now for this anchor tag, we are going to give it, let's create some space here. We are going to give it a we're going to give this a display of block. And the reason we are giving this a display of block is because we want the list item to stack upon one another. Okay, we want them in a block format. Okay, we want the list item to be on top of each other. Okay, in a block format. Okay, that's why we're giving it a display of block. Now the display of block is easily overwritten. Okay, if you can remember up here, we gave this list item a display of none. Now after giving it a display of none, you can see now we have override it. We override it with the display of inline, and after overriding it with the display of inline, now coming down here, we also override it with a display of block, because we want the list item to stack upon one another. Okay, so that's why we are giving it a display of block. We don't want them inline. Okay, but we gave it a display of inline here because we just want them together. Now for the anchor tag, we gave it a display of block because we want them to stack upon one another. So the next thing we need to do here is to give it what are we going to do here after the display of block? We're going to give this a text align. We're going to give it a text align of left. We want this to be on the left hand side. We gave it a text align of left. So if we go over to our web page now, let's go over to our web page. If we refresh, now let's click this icon. Now we click. Now you can see we have our drop down list. We click it again. You can see we click it again. Now you can see we have our drop down list. But one more thing you need to notice here, you can see our icon is coming down here as well. Our icon is also dropping. Meanwhile, we want our icon to be here on the right hand side. This is where we want our icon to be when we click this icon, when we click the button. Okay, so now what we need to do is we want to make the icon to remain here even when we click the icon. So what we need to do is we need to go up here. We go up here on top of the top nav responsive, because this is happening when we click the button. So we are going to say ul dot top nav dot responsive list item dot icon. So we are getting our icon now. We want to style the icon. So what we are going to do with this icon is we are going to give this a position. I'm going to give this a position of absolute, because we want this icon to be in an absolute position. We don't want it to go anywhere. Position of absolute, and we are going to give it a top of 0 and the right of 0. We are simply saying position this in an absolute position, and we don't want it to go anywhere. We want it to be on the top right corner. We don't want it to go anywhere when we click that icon. Okay, so go back to our web page. Now if we refresh, we hit this button. Now you can see our icon is not moving. Now you can see this is our list items. Now we have our drop down list. So congratulations to you. We have successfully created our navbar, and we have also made our navbar mobile responsive. Now we have our drop down list. Now you can see we can click this to and fro. We have our drop down list. There is no problem here. Everything is working fine. Okay, you can see here. So if we actually do this now, if we refresh our browser, if we do this, we shift this, and you can see it is mobile responsive. Now if we click this, now you can see we have our list items. So congratulations. Here in the next tutorial onwards, we are going to start building the rest of the content, of our website. We are going to be building, we'll be talking about headings, paragraphs, images. So we are going to be building our website, our restaurant website. So that is what we are going to be doing in further tutorials. So, but congratulations to you, as you have successfully created your drop down list, and you have successfully created your navbar, a responsive navbar in both desktop and for mobile. Okay, yeah, so that will be it for this video, guys. I will see you guys in the next